We are live. This is the NBA Rundown. The channel is Nuke the House. Sorry that I'm late. I was just recording with Simon over on Heat Seeker Sports, and we were doing a showdown slate for Sunday night's game. So that'll be out tomorrow if you guys want to check that out. But we are here to talk about the National Basketball Association. Tyler and I went 1-on-1 on our plays yesterday. I went against my superstar subtraction, and I still regret it to this day. On the other side, the Phoenix Suns got home easily on that first half play and then won the game even easier. So I'm glad I listened to Tyler on that one. Hopefully, he'll jump in with us real soon. But if not, do not worry, because I have you covered when it comes to the National Basketball Association. I see my guy Clyde in the chat. What's up, my man? Appreciate you being here every day, showing support and bringing some love into the chat. And I'm going to need it today, right? Because Tyler won't be there to tell all the funny jokes. So I'll be needing you to ride with some of that humor. I'm still doing, I still got to throw some numbers in, but we're going to talk about these games and I'll get started and we'll see where my projections end up. The first game on the board tonight is the Sacramento Kings. That's right, my Sacramento Kings. They're in Philadelphia. They're taking on the 76ers. Do you know the Sacramento Kings have made the conference finals more recently than the Philadelphia 76ers? I like always throwing that stat out there. And it was even funnier when we were on the 16-game playoff drought. So Sacramento, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. But tonight, most likely these point spreads not going to come into, oh my gosh, is my computer freezing up already? All right, stick with me, guys. Computer's freezing, but I can still read this stuff off. Sacramento 4-1 against the spread, last 5 on the road. But Phillies won their last 5 games at home against Sacramento. When I look at this injury report, I'm trying to pull it up. I can't believe my computer froze on me right now. But I know that Joel Embiid's out of the lineup. That's why the Sixers are only laying 1.5 points here. The Sacramento Kings' most recent game was an easy win over the Charlotte Hornets on Wednesday night. And I'm trying to pull up the Sixers' most recent game. My computer froze. Maybe it'll come back for me. Looks like I've got it back. Kevin Huerter's out. Clyde, how upset are you about that, about losing Kevin Huerter? And on the other side, Robertson, Covington, Joel Embiid, and Kenny Lofton all out. Boy, I don't even, oh, there's my guy. Okay, let's see. Is my screen going to come back? Dang it. I don't want to leave and come back either. All right, guys. Maybe I'll come back in a bit, or if we get someone else in here. Robert Covington, Joel Embiid, both out for Philadelphia. Let's look against the spread. How have the 76ers been doing? Oh, they're pretty good. 13-6 at home so far this season. And they're used to Embiid being out. Embiid's been out for the last 3 to 4 games, and it looks like it could be a while. If you have an MVP ticket for Embiid, I would be worried that he's not going to make the threshold of games played. Supposedly, this is the same injury that he played through in the playoffs last year. It's knee swelling. Embiid could be out for a while for the 76ers, which absolutely sucks for me because I bet them at 13-1 to win the title, hoping I'd be able to hedge off. If I would have just waited, you're going to be able to get such a better bet right now. So there we have it there. I'm just going to take a quick look at my numbers. I didn't update them all, but I can just take a look at the model and kind of see where I'm going to be at. Let's see. The Sixers. I think I'm going to have it pretty close to being a Sixers game. No. Projections are going to slightly like the Kings. I'd like to talk to Tyler on this one. Obviously, this is my home team, and I'm curious to see how they do, and I'm worried that I'm going to be a little bit biased. Where did my camera go? This is actually ridiculous. My guy Ryan Lee says SGA is the MVP this year. That's interesting. I think it's Jokic's to lose because the idea that if Jokic – they got to feel bad for not giving him to him last year. He was obviously the best player in the league last year. So it feels like Jokic is to lose. But right now, I would have SGA as the clear number 2. Not only is he the best player on one of the best teams in the West, he has excellent defensive metrics too. which is something different, right? I know that Embiid's pretty good defensive metrics. Jokic has now just become average on defensive metrics. SGA is going to be near the top. So, an SGA MVP ticket, I would not be against that at all. Oh my gosh. If someone else came, I would just leave the studio and come back to get my camera back. Otherwise, I guess we're just going with this cool picture. Look at me looking at that chick. All right, the Indiana Pacers are plus 5.5. They're in Atlanta taking on the Hawks. Now, remember, this isn't the Pacers team that we've known to grow and love that played so fast-paced. Without Tyrese Halliburton, they are not the same team, and Halliburton's going to be out for another couple weeks. I went over the games with them out. Remember, they only put up 112 with them out. So of the 4 games that he's missed for the team so far this year, only one of them was that high-scoring Pacers that we love. And that was against the Wizards. They only put up 112 against the Wizards. That's one of the easiest ones that we can do. And I think this game goes under. I mean, all your projections are going to be completely off on the Pacers. I know the Hawks are a high-scoring team, but I'm liking the under here because the Pacers simply haven't been that same fast-paced team without Tyrese Halliburton there in the mix. The Houston Rockets. Oh, hold on. Let me give you some trends for that game. Excuse me, guys. The total's gone under in Indiana's last 5 road games. Of course it have. Their totals are at like 256 every night. However, the total's gone over in Indiana's last 5 trips to Atlanta. And the total's gone over 12 of the 13 times that these teams will play each other. So I guess that's a reason that we'd want to stay off here. I'm actually going to project it over. Probably no play here. Looking at the side, I'm not laying 5.5 points with the Hawks. There's no way. I'm not laying 5.5 points with the Atlanta Hawks. I know the Pacers are not the same team. However, I simply can't do that here. So if I were to play this game, I would take the plus 5.5 and I would take the under. However, do we really want to take an under in the Pacers Hawks? I don't know. I might circle back to that. Total might be a little bit too high. I like the total under better than I like the plus 5.5. The Houston Rockets are -8 on the road. Oh, how come? Because they're playing the woeful Detroit Pistons, who I think are 3-34 on the year. Let me confirm that. Make sure I'm right. But I think the Detroit Pistons are 3-34. Unbelievable how bad this team is. No, I'm wrong. They're 3-35. 14-23 against the spread this year. 23-14 to the over. Houston Rockets are 18-18 on the year. 20-14 against the spread. However, if you sort by recent results, Houston is on a downswing. Houston has lost both games on their road trip. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They lost by 7 in Miami when they were catching 4 points. Then this one hurt because we have plus 4.5, and they lost by 5 to the Bulls. So this Dylan Brooks injury has definitely hurt this Houston team. At the same time, I'm not taking the Pistons. To me, it's Rockets or pass. I'm going to end up on a pass. I've got this game projected. I'm just trying to do them in my head real quick to see where it's going to land. I got it pretty close to the number on the total. If I were to play it, I guess I would play under. But who wants to play a Friday night under? Yeah, let's not do that. All right. The Orlando Magic are plus 1.5. They're in Miami. They're taking on the Heat. The total is 219. Camera, why aren't you working? This is so ridiculous. I'm going to try something real quick. What if I turn this off? All right. I won't try anything real quick. Plus 1.5, Orlando Magic taking on the Miami Heat. This is a very interesting game. I tell you I choose games to tape and study. This might be the game I choose tonight. Orlando 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 road games. The total's gone over in 4 of their last 5 road games. However, Miami has won the last 5 games at home against the Orlando Magic. The total's also gone over in 6 of the last 7 games at home. So we're going to see trends on both sides, but for the total, the trends are telling us over. A quick look at how I'm going to project this game. Looks like Miami, and how much do I have Miami winning by? Not enough to make it. I'm gonna have it pretty close to this number here of -1.5. When I'm looking at the total here, this sucks. I'm projecting it right around 217 on a 219, but I'd want to bet an over if I played it. Yeah, I did say under in Indiana, Atlanta. Clyde and I gave my reasons too. How they haven't been scoring a lot without Halliburton in there. All right. If I play this Magic Heat game, I'm going to take the over. And that's the way that it's going. The Los Angeles Clippers are -8.5. They're in Memphis. They're taking on the Grizzlies. Totals 224.5. We talked about no Tyrese Halliburton. Same deal here with the Memphis Grizzlies with no John Morant, and they have not been a good team without him. My projections are going to tell me probably to take Memphis, which I don't like because I don't want to take Memphis here, and I also don't want to lay it. Nope. They're not. They're slight edge to the Clippers, actually. Slight edge to the Clippers here. Totals 224.5. Game 2 without Morant is going to be a blowout, says Robert. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a tough spot for them. But do I trust the Clippers to win by margin at home? I'm not exactly sure. The projections are going to tell me to take the Clippers. When I look at how things have gone between these teams recently, when they've squared off, Clippers are 7-1 in their last 8 games. They're 8-3 straight up in their last 11 road games. Total's gone under in Memphis's last 5 home games. Memphis is 4-1 in their last 5 games, but remember, 4 of those were with Ja Morant in the lineup. So this is a tough game to handicap. I probably like the Clips here. And for my total, where am I on my total? Yeah, right around there. Right around there. No edge on the total at all. The Portland Trailblazers. Are we doing this already? They're plus 16. They're plus 16. 16-point spreads are tough to handicap. Against Minnesota, they're taking on the Timberwolves. Why are the Trailblazers catching 16? Oh, because they lost by 60 last night. How did we not bet the Thunder? I'm so pissed. We talked about that game yesterday here on this rundown. And then, yeah, pretty disappointing there for the Portland Trailblazers. So they're coming off a 60-point loss. Now, in football, this will be a great time to take a team, right? You're coming off the biggest loss of the year. They got embarrassed. This is the time you want to target teams. I don't know if we can do that in basketball. The Minnesota Timberwolves are coming off a win over the Orlando Magic, although nobody played for Orlando in that game. Still, Minnesota took care of business and covered their spread. Total's gone under 4 of the last 5 times that Portland's visited Minnesota. Total's 221.5 here. Yeah, I can see that because it's Portland going to get there for you. Minnesota 15-2 in their last 17 games at home, and 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 games at home against Portland. Now, I'm not going to look those up, but guys, I don't think they were laying 16. Don't think they were laying 16 in those 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 trips to Portland. So I'll bet you in some of them they were even catching points. So I think that trend is pretty much worthless. However, the Timberwolves have been very good against the spread overall at home. Well, I guess not. See, this is where you got to look stuff up. Because off the top of my head, I'm like, oh, they're pretty good. They're actually only 8-7-1 against the spread at home. 10-10-1 on the road, 18-17 against the spread overall. So while the Timberwolves have been one of the best teams in the league, straight up 26-11 this year, they're not covering numbers. If I wanted to be super contrarian, I'd take the plus 16 here. But do I need to force that? Do I need that type of stress in my life? No, let's keep it moving. The Golden State Warriors are in a state of turmoil. You know, the guy, the security guard at UPS, he doesn't like He doesn't like me because I told him the Warriors are cooked. The Warriors are cooked. Dude, Steph 36, Clay's 35, Dre's 34. No one's ever been this good at this old. Don't let LeBron and Tom Brady fool you. You're not supposed to be an elite athlete at the age of 36 and 35. Unfortunately, the Warriors are still paying Clay and Dre like they are. Now, Dre, maybe it's not the athleticism that he's lost. As you get older, you're supposed to mature. What's up with that? Draymond seems like he's getting more immature. All right. Regardless, he's not going to be playing tonight. The Golden State Warriors are catching 3.5. They're in Chicago. They're taking on the Bulls, the aforementioned Bulls that broke our hearts 2 nights ago by covering that spread against the Houston Rockets. Now they have an opportunity to do it against the Golden State Warriors. The Bulls have been 12-10 against the spread at home this year. And how have the Warriors been on the road? Oh, not bad. They're actually 9-6 against the spread on the road because they're constantly catching points. However, 3.5 isn't very much when I'm looking at my projections here. I got to do these. I'm trying to figure it out just by looking at the numbers, what it's going to spit out for me. Let's see that. The slight edge to. It's going to be pretty close to the number. It's going to tell me to take the Warriors, but it's going to have the Bulls by 2. That's not enough of an edge to bet. Probably going to tell me to take the under, which I don't like at all. Yeah, that's right. Pretty close to the number here. Here's the way I look at the total. Even though the projections are going towards the under, we know about these lineup changes that the Bulls have made, and I think that's going to make them worse defensively, better offensively. So I don't think projections for the Bulls are going to be accurate. To me, it's over or pass here. Boy, I'm down on the Warriors. Let me see who's all going to be playing tonight. Gosh. No Moody, no Chris Paul, no Gary Payton. Of course, Draymond Green's still out. So the starting lineup will be Steph, Clay, Pods, Kuminga, and Looney. So Andrew Wiggins isn't even the starting lineup anymore. That shows you how much this team's fallen off. Do you remember who was the second best player on the championship team? He was the second best player on that team that year. He's better than Dre. He's better than Clay. He was the reason they won the championship in 2021. Now he can't even start. I can't believe what's going on in Andrew Wiggins. Talk about a one-year wonder. Talk about a one-hit wonder. That's what Andrew Wiggins has been. And if he doesn't turn it around, this Golden State Warriors team is cooked. I don't think they're going to turn it around tonight. On this other side here, Zach LaVine has returned to the starting lineup. Now he seems to have been integrating himself better than he was at the beginning of the year when he was just completely chucking. Still, it's out. What'd you say? Kevin Huerter's out? Is super scrub subtraction, Kyle? What's up with that? Sorry, I missed that, guys. You asked me if Rudy Gobert's playing. He's 50-50 there. And Day'Ron Sharpe is out, and I assume that it's on the Nets game that we're talking about. I'm not really too worried about Day'Ron Sharpe unless that's a cluster. Are the Nets even playing? Which Sharpe are we talking about here? Help me out there. Which Sharpe are we talking about? All right, we're going to keep it moving there on the breakdown. I think this is a tough game to get involved with. If I did, I would take the Bulls, but I think this is a tougher one. I like the Bulls and the over here. The New Orleans Pelicans, who are a team that I cannot get a handle on. They're +8. They're in Denver. They're taking on the Nuggets. On Wednesday, I made an impassioned plea for the Jazz at home, and they were able to upset the Nuggets. So not only did they cover the spread, they got that one straight up, which means Denver's coming off a loss. New Orleans Pelicans, I see a bunch of green here when I'm looking at their injury report. Ingram, probable. CJ, probable. Trey Murphy, probable. And Zion, probable. 3 of your 4 best players are probable. I can't get involved right now. I don't mind if, missing one player, but boy, you can't miss all those guys. This line being 8 also makes me think that they expect at least some of these players to miss. This is a tough game to get involved with right now. Let's wait for that injury report. New Orleans, however, 5-0 against the spread their last 5 road games. Hey, they're catching 8. Pretty easy to envision a Denver victory where the Pelicans cover. New Orleans has won their last 5 road games. If they were to get the upset here, would I be surprised? Not necessarily, because New Orleans, their ceiling is really high. Their problem is consistency. But if they come out and they're on fire, they could keep pace with the Nuggets. In fact, that's one of the worst matchups for the Nuggets in my mind. That the only reason I wouldn't be worried about the Nuggets, about the Pelicans, if I was a Nuggets fan, is I don't believe the Pelicans can consistently beat the Nuggets for 4 games straight in order to win a series. But they could definitely come alive and beat them tonight at home. Denver 16-4 straight up in their last 20 home games, 9-3 overall in their last 12. And remember, their most recent game was that loss to the Jazz. Looking at how I'm going to project it, I haven't completely run the numbers here. My guess is they're going to tell me to take New Orleans, but that's because I'm running them. Yeah, to take New Orleans, but I'm running them with the team at full strength. I'm sorry, guys, but we got to wait on that injury report. Right now, I really like that Pelicans +8, though. If you have a little gamble and you take the +8 right now, if those guys get rolled in, it's going to go down to 6 or 5. Total here is 229. No thoughts on the total at all. My projections are going to like it to go over. But like I said, my projections have everyone in. So we got to wait on that one, guys. But boy, if those Pelicans guys are in there and you can get a +8, I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. The Toronto Raptors are +2 in Utah, taking on the Jazz. Totals 241.5. Guys, don't overthink this. The Jazz are 13-4 against the spread at home. Jazz are 13-4 against the spread at home. That's the best split of any team in the NBA. That's right. The Jazz at home is the most profitable situation a team can be in. Toronto, of course. No, I'm trying to pull up the stats and my computer's not working. I was trying to pull up Toronto's most recent games. So now I'm going to do it off the top of my head. Okay, so most recent Toronto game. Oh, I know what their 2 most recent games were. They got absolutely jobbed by the referees against the Lakers, and then they came back. They complained about the calls. They didn't get any calls against the Clippers, and they got absolutely smoked. Now they got to travel to Utah after that time in Los Angeles. It's a terrible situation spot. I love the Jazz here. This is my favorite bet of the day so far. Give me the Utah Jazz -2. Final game on the card tonight. San Antonio Spurs and the Charlotte Hornets. If Tyler was here, I bet you this is the gambler number. This is a 1-800 gambler number for the game. Spurs -2, totals 235.5. Let's talk about what these Hornets are doing here. I got to check this injury report. It has been crazy lately for the Hornets. What do we have here for this game tonight? So LaMelo Ball could be making his return to the lineup. I guess that would help them a lot, but we'll see how he does in his first game. Cody Martin, 50-50. Frankie Nichols, 50-50. PJ Washington, 50-50. Gordon Hayward out, and Mark Williams is still out. If LaMelo plays, the starting lineup is going to be LaMelo, Rozier, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Nick Richards. On the other side, the only player of note is out is Zach Collins. Trey Jones starting for the Spurs. The team's been much better since he's been playing. I'm staying away from this one. I think you can make good arguments on both sides. I'd probably like the Spurs. They've been so much better since Trey Jones is in here, but no edge when I'm running projections. Probably like the over. The Hornets are 18-17 to the over on the year. The Spurs are 21-14 to the over, so the Spurs go over. But are they a little better now as they're starting to try a little harder? That could be the case here. Boy, it's a good arguments on both sides. I'd love to hear some of your guys' thoughts on this game because I think this game could go either way. Where is this game when I'm looking at how these guys have played recently? Charlotte, 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 against San Antonio, but San Antonio is 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games. San Antonio has also gone under in 4 of their last 5 games, kind of confirming what I thought off the top of my head, even though this team's went over a lot. As of lately, now that they're playing a real lineup with a real point guard in there, they're playing a lot better. So, gosh, I lean to the Spurs, but I don't like it. When I'm looking at what I want to play officially today, I'm probably going to go for the under in that Hawks-Pacers game. And I'm probably only going to make 2 bets tonight. I'm going to go under in the Hawks-Pacers. If the Pelicans play, I'll go ahead and add that later tonight. But my bet of the day is the Utah Jazz. Let's go, guys. This is an absolute slam dunk. Give me the Utah Jazz -2. I love this play. Utah's been excellent at home. They were just able to beat the defending champions at home. Now they're going to play a tired Raptors team that has to be frustrated after everything's been going on with this team. Utah Jazz at home is my best bet for today. Guys, I'm going to take Monday off for the NBA. It's a holiday. I'm not going to be here, and also it's a weird schedule. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all my projections, and I'll have all my plays up on Sunday. I'll tweet those out on Sunday night so you can get straight to the projections, because those games will start at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on Monday. And it's kind of like an all day thing. They should do some more of that stuff like on Sunday. It's a pretty cool schedule there. So I'll give you the picks and I'll give you the winners, but we're not going to talk through them. And most likely, I think I'm going to do the football on Tuesday too. We were planning on doing it on Monday, but I forgot that it was a holiday when we made that. So we'll probably do the football recap on Tuesday. So, guys, guess what? We're going to do the football right now. Well, not right now. We'll start in 17 minutes. I'm going to break down this weekend's cards with JC and Tyler. And then we will be back on Tuesday. But that's not all. If you want to be on this channel all weekend, the Sports Keg will be live for the NFL playoffs, and he'll be giving those live in-game winners. So, bet the Utah Jazz tonight, and then log on, kick it with the Sports Keg and the crew, and get those in-game winners all weekend. Man, you do that, you're going to nuke the house.